Just because you have thoughts doesn't mean you have to think. Think about that. What's up, fellow humans? You're probably thinking, what the heck is up with that? Just because you have thoughts doesn't mean you have to think. Yeah, exactly that. I have to continuously remind myself that just because a thought enters the space of the mind doesn't mean that I have to grab it and interact with it and play with it and, do all that future thinking or dwelling in the past. Like, there's no need for any of that. A lot of people aren't aware that your thoughts, they come and go. You could just watch them. Ooh, speaking of watching, there's a hawk. There's a freaking hawk standing right there. Ooh, what's he doing? What are you doing, big boy? Oh, beautiful. Anyway, distractions. Yeah, it's almost like standing at a train station and just watching every train pass by, but don't get on them. There's a train that stops and it's like, hey, you want to revisit some stupid mistake that you made in the past? And maybe sometimes it's okay to get on the train if you're ready to deal with that situation so that the train never passes by ever again. But just because the train stops and wants you to revisit something stupid or some trauma or some future catastrophic event, it doesn't mean that you have to get on the train. Like, you do have that option. You do have that choice. Unless you've allowed another part of you to completely take over, in which case it will play whatever it wants. It'll push you into that train if it wants to. Then that's a little bit more of a dangerous territory. And if you really wanted to know what meditation is, like what it really is, it would be that. It would be like sitting at a train stop and just watching the trains go by. You don't have anywhere to go. You don't have anywhere to be. You're not thinking about where you were before you got to the station, and you're not thinking about what's going to happen after you leave the station. In other words, you're just sitting there. You're just being 100% present in that moment, not allowing the temptations of these trains of thought to coerce you into jumping on a train, thinking about things that you don't need to be thinking about, and keeping you away from that train station. Marcus Aurelius said that the happiness of your life is dependent upon the quality of your thoughts. And if you think about this train analogy, there are bad thoughts, there are negative thoughts, and there are happy thoughts. There are positive trains, there are negative trains, there are trains that are so beautiful because they contain a lot of beautiful memories, right? But the point is that you don't have to hop on every freaking train that comes your way. So make a mental note of all these trains that are passing by. If there's a train of trauma that comes by, say, you know what, I'm going to catch the next one. And the next one might be the train of forgiveness, the train that actually leads you to forget about that issue, let go of that issue, forgive that person, and just move on, so that at some point you can sit at the train station and have some peace and quiet. And there's an ugly truck right there. Sorry, those things are hideous. Speaking of trains of thought. But yeah, at some point, I want you to be able to sit at the train station and not have a single train pass by, because you're at peace.